Well, here's another ad lib, no thought out video. Well, I made some progress since my last video. Um, I believe the last video I posted was about a month, maybe a month and a half ago. I was in the process of ripping this thing apart and cleaning it. As you can see, I'm no longer doing that. I've actually got some success going on. I still haven't been able to home this thing automatically, but that doesn't matter since I set 0 every time I start the machine. And actually per job I set 0, so I haven't really had to flip anything over or do anything that requires me to have this thing remember its settings from time to time, but in general every session I only have to set it once. I've been getting some pretty good results. I've been working with hardwoods lately, and also plastics. And I've had to make. I didn't have to. I mean, I could have bought some rocker clamps for like $6-7 a piece, and it probably would have been more time cost effective and all that. But I kind of liked making these. Every part is made of something soft that a cutter, if it accidentally hits it, will do no damage whatsoever. I got 3-inch plastic bolts I cut the heads off of because these very cheap Foxconn T-Tracks, which work great, it was pretty tough finding T-nuts for it, so I just made my own. I made the clamps themselves from a file I found off of Thingiverse. I thickened it up a bit for wood. And they're very rigid. I mean, this is just ridiculous. You couldn't break this with your hands without a lot of effort. I suppose you could if you really, really tried, but I mean, it holds down wood beautifully. The pivot up above is a piece of aluminum tube I just happen to have a whole stack of, so it was not a lot of thought to cut those apart. The T-slots themselves, or the T-nuts, I made from what did I make that from? Cutting board. I got from Harbor Freight for like $9. You get 2 of them, and one size is 1/4 inch thick if you cut off the border, because the border's thicker, and the other size is 0.2 inches. And the thicker of the two make perfect T-nuts. So you just basically make a simple little CAD program and cut them in strips. This is the thinner of the two. This does work, but the threads can pull out of these, so I recommend if you do make these things, make them from the thicker of the two boards. A lot more meat as far for threads to fit, or the threads to go into. Ambient's kicking in right now, so my brain's not working so well. Anyway, these T-nuts work beautifully. They fit. Here, let me see if I can get that to go in and actually be able to see it. Oh, come on, you pain in the ass. All right, there we go. So there's very little play. It just slides in. There's no pulling up. Let's get this thing aligned. And just tighten them down. That's not going anywhere. The thumb wheels, the knurled thumb wheels, it's one of the benefits of having a lathe and a bar of Delrin. Let's see if I got the bar laying around. I don't know what the hell I did with it. Oh, it's still in the bandsaw. It's cutting off about 1/2 inch. It's 1 inch diameter. And I just cut off slivers of it. About that thick. And chuck them up in the lathe, drill them out to the minor diameter, tap them for 1/4 20 on the inside, screw it onto a little 1/4 20 with nuts that I slitted the sides so that they'll clamp down in the chuck. And I proceeded to face both sides and then knurl the outside after a skim cut on it. And they make really nice little thumb nuts. I have really no reason to buy anything better now. These work great. A couple turns because I didn't have this tightened before. I don't like leaving them with tension on them. It's about 1 in the morning right now, and I just came out to grab the camera. I figured, what the hell? One quick video. That will not go anywhere. That is down. This is probably my 3rd design. I made a design of, I made this same design out of a softer wood, some plywood, and almost immediately it snapped in half. So, yeah, you don't really want to use anything but hardwood to make these kind of clamps. I just happen to have some scrap laying around. It was water damaged. It's really nice wood, but there's water damage, and it was separating at each lamination where the boards were joined together. A lot worse than the other one. And when I set up the tool paths, I just basically made the clamps from each of these strips. So 2 or 3 per, depending. I nested them pretty well. And then on the inside, have I got any that I'm not using? No, I don't. On the inside, to get that, I basically just made a triangle on one side, then flipped, basically so to alternate. There'd be one this way, one this way, one this way, one this way, and I just do the triangle on either side so that the bolt would be able to rock in there properly. I got one hand here. You get the idea, though. See? Yep. And that works really well. And if my cutter accidentally hits any part of that, it will do no damage. And I usually have enough clamps that I won't even have to start my job again. Been doing a lot of experimenting with different methods, different materials. I haven't done aluminum yet, though I don't think I'm going to have any problem with aluminum, except with the exception of my spoil board is MDF, and if I'm going to do aluminum, I need coolant, and I could just get a cheap coolant off of, or a nozzle off of Amazon. I think they cost like $20. And I'd probably use kerosene to start with since I have it. I just have to make sure I don't get it around any fire, Kerosene makes her pretty good and cheap aluminum cutting fluid. It'd just be a mist anyway. I'd use WD-40, but it's like 4 times more expensive. I mean, I can get like 5 gallons of kerosene for like $20. So it's about 1/5 the price. And I plan to change my bed out. I've been looking at HDPE, which is expensive in comparison to the MDF. I think this MDF sheet here cost about $12, whereas the HDPE sheet will cost about right around $100. Probably a little less, but I'm going to be conservative here. And I plan to keep using this T-Track T-Track setup. It works pretty nice. It's very low profile, and you have to do a little bit of modification to get your T nuts to be able to clear these wood screws that go down into the secondary layer. So I basically have to buy 2 of those MDF pieces if I wanted to do aluminum properly. I don't really want to ruin a bit, or I don't know. Honestly, I actually have some spare aluminum. I could just try it and see what happens. I don't think it's going to kill me. As long as I keep my my feeds and speeds correct, should be okay. I've got a bit for it. Where are you? I don't think you're it. Yeah, you're that 4-flute one. It's this one. Yeah, I think that's my aluminum cutting bit. If I can even get the... I think it's a 3-flute. Probably be okay for thinner materials. There's stuff like this here. It's a side off of an old stereo. So here's been a couple of things I've been working on other than all the clamps, because I've been making lots of clamps. These big ones are absolutely useless. I mean, you can just... You hear that? You can kind of hear it cracking just under my hand. Yeah, they're just going to get burned. But the little ones, they're only about a 1/2 inch different in size. But these little ones work great. Like, I almost don't really need anything but these little ones. Some guy off the internet made a design. And it's actually a really good design. It holds down really well. The little lip at the end, I think, is the secret. That and the fact that it's got such a nice amount of movement. Pretty simple 2-piece thing. Those are even more simple. They're 1-piece. But if I decide to go with these, I'll be casting those in aluminum. Yep. I'm using the tabs as gates. We'll see if it actually functions that way. I did a little bit of 3D. I sliced an image I got from an object from Thingiverse, and then just sliced it. Gave it a little bit of draft to fill in the nose and the eyes. It worked out pretty well. Made a couple of these. I don't know if I even have any other. I made some flat ones I didn't have to slice, but I gave most of those away. There's a couple. Yeah, I just give those away. I'm pretty happy with these. You can see that. Kind of an experiment. This was a scrap piece of board at one point. Now it's just this beautiful. I don't know what to do with it. I'd probably give that away as a gift also. I made 2 of them. I like this one a little better. Everybody seems to like the one with the machine marks more, but that smoothness is just goes so well with the polyacrylic. What else I do today? I took a copy of my fingerprint. I don't know if you can really see it. If that shininess is coming through. But yeah, that turned out really well. I mean, I wouldn't mind getting some better definition, but I haven't figured out how to do that yet. I'd probably have to go into Photoshop and clean everything completely before I even... I basically need better contrast between my blacks and my whites. And this one here I tried to primer, and it seemed to fill up all the ridges, so that kind of didn't work. Oh well. 15 minutes of my life I wasted. made a family picture, family embossment. It looks like hell, so I think I might make this a little bit bigger and then do this in a halftone, which takes freaking forever. Halftones just seem to take forever. Anywhere from 6 to 12 hours, depending on the size of the halftone. It seems like halftones only really look very good if you do them large. I was going to give this to my son, and then found out once I started cutting things out with that CNC machine, it is just, well, it's not going to work right now, it's unplugged, but it's indispensable. I totally needed this thing. Well, you know, this is basically just something to let anybody know who happens to give a damn what's going on. I'm pretty sure I'll get some dislikes because people are meaner now than they used to be. Here's a halftone I attempted on my cat. It started at the top here and then worked its way down. And then when it came back up, you could just tell the bed surface wasn't level. That was before I leveled my bed. I just threw it in there to see what would happen. It actually turned out kind of nice. I'm really happy with how these T-nuts turned out. There we go. Yeah, forgot. I don't want those tight. And I got some nice guy at work brought some oak scraps that he just happened to have. And I got, you know, like this nice piece here I'll probably save for something, and then these awkward looking pieces I really didn't know what to do with, but it's beautiful wood. So I have to think of something, right? Got another one. So being a Christian, and I saw this on Pastor Anderson's wall, I liked it, you know, and it makes sense to me. I may give this away, or it might actually just go up on my wall. It turned out very well, though. I mean, it's just, now that I know how to make these, I could just pump these out left and right. I can just make these things. It's like no big deal. The only problem, the only cost is the material and cutter and time. Other than that, it's very simple. As far as actually like writing the code, you know, for this, it's no big deal. I'm loving that software. And at this point, I don't know what else to say, so I'm going to let you go. Maybe I'll talk to you tomorrow, maybe I won't.